Welcome to Smart Branding, a podcast dedicated to branding, naming, and domain names. I'm Tatiana Bonneau, and with my guests, we try to help you create and grow strong, memorable, and meaningful brands online. I believe time is one of our most precious assets, and so I want to thank you in advance if you decide to spend the next 30 minutes with us. I promise to do my best to make those worth it. Let's go!
Yeah, let's start with tell me a little bit about yourself and your company. What do you do?
All right. So I am the CEO of OptiOffer. Before getting into tech, I basically used to sell commercial kitchen equipment. So I had a pretty regular local job selling commercial equipment for restaurants. And a couple of years ago, I wanted to make a change, and also the whole business started from my own problems at work. And what we are doing right now, as a company, we are actually we want to change the way businesses buy and sell commercial equipment and supplies by changing how product catalogs work. So in a nutshell, think of OptiOffer as a network that helps food service owners connect with curated suppliers and manufacturers of equipment and supplies. And at the same time, suppliers and manufacturers connect with each other to create some sort of like a business hubs using our technology that we call e-catalogs, to manage the deals, configure products, and do business together, basically. And in the end, the point of OptiOffer is to get rid of PDFs, Excels, and hundreds of emails containing text and calls.
I was just going to ask you, how did that work before? Or how does that generally work without your product?
Yeah, it kind of still works the same as it did in 1980s, to be honest with you. So it's everything starts from nowadays, of course, the only change is it starts from a PDF rather than a printed catalog. But it's a PDF is basically the digital version of a printed catalog. But for commercial equipment, those are highly customizable, highly specific equipment, and it's not like like a laptop that you can just you look it up and you buy it. It's more complex, and the sales process is a lot more complicated than usual e-commerce, let's say. This means that everything from the manufacturer to distributors to resellers to end customers happens with PDFs, Excels, lots of Excels, orders and whatnot, emails, text, WhatsApps, Telegram, whatever you can think of.
Kind of all over the place, yeah.
It's all over the place, and there's not one network that fits this kind of how can I say it? This kind of business, and we are trying to create that. It's not an easy job, and it's not B2B is usually closed, and not a lot of folks are open, like in social media. Businesses try to protect themselves, and opening up sometimes seems counterintuitive, but actually it helps. As we saw, for example, in e-commerce, the way it exploded is basically the whole market opened up to the whole world. It wasn't just a brick and mortar store going inside. You could browse, configure, and buy everything online. And the commercial equipment side, it's still in its shell, and we are trying to break it and just open it up to anyone, basically, because you never know where a new restaurant owner might come in. But if you, for example, Tatiana, were to open a restaurant and try to find your equipment for that, if you ever think of it, it's gonna be a really rough ride to get to know and buy these equipment. Even if you have the money, it's not easy to buy the equipment.
Oh, no, I actually, the funny thing is, years ago, I used to do the marketing for a restaurant chain. And even though it wasn't directly my job, eventually I actually got involved because like every time they would open a new location, you would have to order everything, you know, that goes with it. And it's like they obviously, like in the best case scenarios, they had people that they've worked with before, but you know, you don't open unless like you're super rich, I don't know, and successful, but you don't open new outlets every month. So sometimes there's like 2 years or 3 or more between one and the other. So those people have either like changed, moved on. There are better options on the market. You want different things that they don't offer anymore. So I actually got involved not because it was my job, but because it was like such a mess to try and find everything, and we had to deal with people from abroad. So my colleagues that were handling that, they couldn't even communicate with them. It was just like crazy. It was a mess. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So you actually had one of these experiences, and it's like this. We thought at first it was only in our country. We are originally from Romania, but then we slowly opened to the world, and basically it kind of is the same. We haven't experienced, for example, the United States that much, but in Europe, yes, it's a rough situation, like the one that you described before.
Well, not only that, I think the chain I was talking to was in Bulgaria actually. So, and they were importing a lot of it's a commercial kitchen, is that what it's called? Like a restaurant from Italy. So it's already very globalized. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's actually things that I have no idea. Like I haven't looked at your software on the inside, but that is, I'm assuming, something that you could even incorporate where you would add people with connecting with other people and sort out even the communication for them, like the translation and logistics.
Yeah. That's exactly what we're doing. I mean, regarding data, you are buying in Europe, for example. Italy is probably the biggest manufacturer in commercial kitchen equipment, everything from ovens to gas ranges to whatever. They are crazy about it. And getting the data from Italian to Romanian, Bulgarian, whatever you can think of as language, and fixing, I as a restaurant owner want to buy from this brand because I like it, and I worked with it before. Getting to that manufacturer or that specific distributor is a tough job, and we are trying to streamline everything. So if I want a brand new commercial kitchen iPhone, I can get it in 10 minutes, or at least open a discussion so I can purchase it, basically.
Cool. How long have you been doing that for?
Well, I sold equipment for 2 years, and maybe 2 to 3 more in business development. So I saw firsthand, how it is to work with the restaurant owner as a reseller, and then me trying to find new manufacturers or new kind of equipment from other places. So I happened to navigate the whole supply chain, and that's when it hit me that there's something missing. There's something that needs to be fixed, because it was horrible. It's extremely hard to work and to communicate with all these people and find data about products and catalogs and brochures and pictures and whatever you can think of to make a business successful. It's hard to find. So
it's literally the best way to do it. I think, like, I had a tiny experience with that, and obviously, like, you can see there is a problem and it could be potentially done better, but no way I could have come up with how. I mean, you literally you saw it from the inside, from both sides as well.
Yeah.
How did you come up with the name? What was the process like? The name for the brand?
So me and my co-founder aren't really marketing guys, or we are not that kind of. I mean, we see colors with blue and green. We are not really that in depth with with definitely goes with marketing or branding. But we actually knew, and we always wanted to start with the branding. At first, we've had the branding done by some guy on Fiverr, which didn't really satisfy us at all. So we actually found a really nice brand strategist from one of the bigger cities in Romania, and she, by the way, 3 years later, she is co-founder of our company as well. She's a late co-founder, so our roads intersected. But yes, she worked as a brand strategist, and we kept the name. So OptiOffer was the first one, which basically we thought it was cool, but you know, it's the optimum way to offer your products to the market. That's what we are trying to push. And at first she suggested we change the name. We kind of refused to do so. I'm not sure if that's a good decision or not. So I'm not sure if that's a good one, but we were happy we got the .com domain as well. So we were pretty sure with the name, and then she helped us do the whole visual changes, you know, the colors that we need, the fonts. I learned so much stuff regarding branding that I didn't even know existed. But she's helping us keep everything on track, you know, making sure that the app stays within the brand, the website stays within the brand, social media presence is within the brand, even the colors from our pictures is within the brand. So we didn't know this, but with her help, with her continuous help, we are actually learning, and I myself learned a lot. And I can right now do Instagram pictures on myself and you know, just modify them so it fits our brand, which is
I actually, do you know what? I actually noticed that on your, I think on the announcement for your funding, there is a picture, and I was like, oh, that's all nicely, like with the colors in the blue. That's, do you know what I mean? It does catch your eye, even on subconscious level. It does make a difference.
Yeah. Thank Nichita, by the way. Her name is Nichita as mine. It's a bit of confusion around the company, but yes, she's the one that helped us realize this basically, and just you know, say, hey, you need to be careful with this because it matters. It matters.
Exactly. No, that's the thing, and I oftentimes see that it's a very sadly similar story with you know, startups, I guess, go through those stages of, yeah, the name doesn't matter, the brand name doesn't matter, you know, if the product works, it's okay. Then it's like the domain name doesn't matter, the visuals don't matter, the socials don't matter. And the problem with all of that is that, like, people think, see, we're doing okay. It's like you don't have a way to compare. Like, you don't know what you're missing if you've never had it, and it can actually literally like stab you in the back, and you won't even know it was that. So it's really good that you've had somebody early on to capture and take care of those things, and I think it does make a huge difference.
Yeah, and you know, regarding branding, we actually had the company that worked before selling the whole kitchen. They tried to do a rebranding after 15 years or so, or 10 years of existence. And that went really weird. I mean, the customers didn't actually know what's happening, if we were still alive. So actually it got me thinking, okay, we should care about brand. We didn't know how to do it at all, but we should care about having at least consistency, or you know, knowing at least before what is a direction, so we can have some sort of a different you know, a different path. Because from the way I see branding is, the company is like a person. So if I would you know, tattoo myself in 2 days from all of my body, people wouldn't know that I'm myself, and I wouldn't wear my glasses. And branding, from what I can see, is basically how the company looks in the whole population of other companies, and how others can recognize and, you know and feel that this is Tatiana, this is Nichita, basically this is the smartbranding.com, this is OptiOffer. And not doing it from the beginning means that you probably are the best runner, but nobody knows how you look, how you talk, and how you feel. So even if they would see you on the street, they wouldn't know who you are. Absolutely. And
that's very good press. Yeah.
it's good that you can run fast, but if nobody knows who you are, then well, it's not the the whole impact that you would like to have.
Yeah, it's that it's wasting all the other efforts as well. It's draining all the other efforts, and it kind of doesn't, like, why would you do that to yourself? It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, absolutely. You are based in Romania, you said, and your target audience is what?
So we have two sides. We are kind of a marketplace. So first, food owners, from cafe owners, restaurant owners, food truck owners, every people that own a food business are the demand side of our platform. And then we have the supply side, which is can be resellers, distributors, or manufacturers of commercial kitchen equipment. Depending on the size of the company, resellers can be a one-person company, distributors 50, 100 persons, and manufacturers, well, manufacturer kind of needs to be a bigger company to make sense economically. So it's a split, but let's say the demand and supply, food owners and suppliers of commercial equipment, the simplest way to explain it.
And you can work across Europe?
Sorry?
You work across Europe, or in terms of geography?
Yeah, no, actually, we are focusing on the entire Europe. Of course, we started with Romania as it's our home country, but we are actually right now in full-on speed moving towards trying to cover the whole Europe, and that means opening to thousands more supply and demand companies, which is not really easy. And in Europe you have tens of different languages that you need to take care of. English is a first good step, but then a restaurant owner from a small village, maybe he doesn't talk English, but he is a very good customer. And again, a manufacturer from a small village in Italy is another good supply side customer. So it's hard with Europe regarding languages from our point of view, but at least we don't have differences in the way businesses go.
Yeah. Cool. It reminds me of another startup that we have an interview with, actually. Rephrase, I think. I'll send you the interview after that, because that's exactly what they're doing. They're translating software into different languages, because that's a problem I think many people are having nowadays with globalization, obviously. And especially, it's one thing to translate a document, another thing to translate a whole ecosystem of software. So that's a different thing. Yeah.
And I mean, that's pretty cool if they could solve. I mean, we have highly technical equipment, so translating it even from English to Romanian sometimes is hard for me. If it, it's weird.
You recently raised. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, you raised funding recently. So how was that process like?
Well, we kind of did. I mean, I first started without actually knowing. So I like trying new stuff and getting out of my usual day. And I entered a contest that basically said pitch your idea and see where it goes. So I pitched my idea, and it actually went to a 50,000 euros funding. It was at first a 15-minute pitch, and after that we had 3 more meetings or interviews with the jury and other jury that contain other tech entrepreneurs. And so I mean, from my point of view, it was luck and good timing as well. Entered the contest, did the whole process, and ended up with 50K. And right now we are redoing what we first started. The 50,000 euros are pretty good money, but in tech it's not really that much. I mean, a good developer highly exceeds that sum a year, but it got off the ground and actually helped us cover a pretty good size of the Romanian market. And right now, moving towards Europe, we have started the seed round, which is the second funding round, and now we are looking for a lot more runway, of a 4 million euro round, just so we can actually cover and cover the entire Europe and document the supply and demand side.
Mm-hmm. Cool, that's exciting. So yeah, my next question. There was another one. What's new and exciting? So outside of obviously like you're raising funding and expanding to Europe.
What's new and exciting? You mean in our company?
Yeah.
So we are actually excited to Nichita, the brand strategist and the designer. Actually, that's our exciting new story, is that she likes working with us so much, and she likes the company and the idea and what we want to do, that she is in for being a co-founder, which is a big difference from being an employee, a contractor, how you want to call her, to being a co-founder. It's a lot more responsibility, and it didn't came from us. She was the one that said, I want in, and I want more than money. I want skin in the game, which proves that what we are doing, at least internally, is good.
Well, yeah, of course, that's that's somebody. There's not like it's not somebody you pitched with a good presentation. It's somebody who's really in the company and they see how things are going, which is very important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think let's cut it here. I'm sure we can talk a lot more. I was having like other ideas, like what else can you add in the future to because I was in software development at some point, so I'm having all those. Oh, if you offering like kitchen supplies, why not decoration and other things that when somebody's offering a restaurant, they need other stuff. It's like, now leave that.
Yeah, I mean that would be awesome. Yeah, and it's a long-term game. But I mean, the suppliers themselves can register for free and add their products. So if there were a company that would see what you are seeing right now, and they would sell decorations for restaurants or stools or whatever you can think of, besides equipment, they could actually add it themselves and do it. Yeah, it's open, so we don't put in any pressures on that. But yeah, I mean that's the whole point. You want to open a restaurant, you want equipment or supplies. There is one place that will help you connect with manufacturers, distributors, or resellers based on your needs and budgets, and a lot of transparency going on. So you will know how much your equipment will cost. It will not be a surprise for you when you get a quote. But yeah, that's that's what we are trying to do. So if you have any friends that want to open a restaurant in Europe, just make sure to tell them to check our.
I mean, my whole experience around that and questions I had in my head come from that. I'll definitely recommend you.
All right.
Well.
All
right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us in this episode of Smart Branding Podcast. Feel free to visit smartbranding.com for more information and reach out if you have any suggestions, questions, ideas, or just want to learn more about how a good domain name strategy can help you build a strong and successful brand. See you next time.